In this video, we're going to discuss about equivalence class. If R is an equivalence relation, we can form its equivalence class. The equivalence class determined by an element X of A is denoted by this symbol equals the set containing Y such that X are Y or X is related to Y. So, para magkaroon tayo ng equivalence class, dapat yung given relation natin ay equivalence relation. Okay? So, magbigay tayo ng example ng equivalence relation. So, gamitin natin yung example na diniscuss natin sa previous video. So, let's have example number 1. Let's say we have A equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, ito yung una nating example. And then, yung equivalence relation dun ay yung S. So, let's say S is equal to the set containing 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3, and 3, 1. Okay, so, assuming na hindi natin alam kung equivalence relation to o hindi, we have to test kung itong S ay reflexive, symmetric, at transitive bago tayo humanap ng equivalence class. So, kapag equivalence relation siya, so saka natin hahanapin yung equivalence class. So, paano ba yung equivalence classes? Okay. So, sa madaling salita, ang equivalence classes, parang sila, mahanap tayo ng isang representative. Kumbaga, sa klase, siya yung magiging president and siya yung magiging representative sa bawat set. Okay? Yung magiging representative natin dapat ay comparable doon sa members. Okay? So, for example, let's have 1. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung lagyan natin ng sige, okay na yan. Let's have 1 and hanapin natin kung saan comparable si 1 sa given relation. Okay? Na hindi sa sarili niya. O sige, sama natin yung sarili niya pala. 1, we have 1, and then we have 3. Okay. So, ito yan. Merong 1, 3. Tapos, so yung 2, that is, yung 2 lang, yung kasama niya. Si 3 naman, kasama niya is si 3 tsaka si 1. And then si 4, ang kasama niya is si 4. So, titignan lang natin kung alin yung, kung saan siya comparable. So, comparable siya sa sarili lang niya. And then, or I mean, related lang siya sa sarili niya. And then si 5 ay sa 5 lang. Okay. So, as you can see dito sa given example natin, yung class 1 ay same lang kay 3. Okay? 1, 3 yung laman ni 1, tapos yung kay 3 ay 3, 1. So, meaning, ang magiging A over S natin dito, so ano tong A over S? So, si A over S, siya yung magsisilbing partition natin. Ito yung set. Ito yung magiging set of all distinct equivalence classes of A. Okay? Under relation S. So, ano yung mga laman niya? Mga laman niya, yung mga equivalence classes ni A. So, una, yung 1, yung 2, yung 3, hindi nakasali yung 3. So, si 4 na lang, tsaka si 5. So, yan yung magiging laman ng A over S. Okay? So, again, A over S, ito yung set of all distinct equivalence classes of A under this relation S. Okay? So, now, let's have this one. An equivalence relation R on a set A affects a partition of A. And conversely, a partition of A define an equivalence relation on A. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung equivalence relation, nagpuproduce siya ng partition ni A. Okay, katulad dito, equivalence relation si S. So, kaya niya mag-produce ng equivalence classes na kung saan itong equivalence classes, ito yung nagbibigay ng partition kay set A. So, yung partition, hinahati natin si set A into division na non-overlapping. Okay, so for example, ganito. Ito yung partition. So, let's say we have set A, tapos ito yung laman niya. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ng partition to na non-overlapping. Let's say A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, A sub 4. Na kapag kinuha mo yung union nito, union ng A sub 1, A sub 1, union A sub 2, union A sub 3, A sub 4, dapat ang lalabas ay si A. Tapos dapat yung intersection ng bawat partition ay empty. Okay? So, take note of that. So, kung meron kang, kung i-generalize natin, in general, dapat yung union ng A sub I at A sub J for I not equal to J, dapat equal sa A. Tapos, yung intersection ni A sub I and A sub J, where I is not equal to J, dapat empty. Wala silang, hindi sila overlapping. Okay? Now, so sa given example natin, ang magiging partition natin ay ganito. Okay? A over S, so ito siya. Let's say, mag-drawing lang tayo ng kahit anong abstract object. And then, we have 1, 3. Ito yung elements na magkasama sa iisang class. And then, we have 2. We have 5. We have 4. No? So, hindi siya naka-scale. Pero, ang idea dito ay magkakasama sa isang grupo yung magkasama sa equivalence class. Okay? So, ganyan yung nangyayari sa partition. Okay? Now, let's have another example. So, kunin natin yung example sa previous video ulit, number 2. Okay, so sa previous video, meron tayong set A equals Z and R relation on Z, relation on A such that A be element of Z, 3 divides A minus B. So, na-prove natin last time na ito ay equivalence relation. So, paano naman yung equivalence classes nito? Okay? So, ang integers, binubuo siya ng 0, negative integers, and then positive integers. Okay? Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Positive integers or natural numbers. So, dito, kung titignan natin, madali lang siyang hanapan ng equivalence class. Pwede tayo mag-start ng 0. And then, since ang divisor natin ay multiple of 3, pwede natin gawin ay yung mga, nilagyan ko lang ng sub R para masabi na itong equivalence class ay under ng relation R. Okay, so yan. Pwede nating isipin yung mga multiple of 3. So, mag-plus lang tayo ng 3, tapos mag-minus lang ng 3. So, magiging ... infinite kasi yun. Negative 6, negative 3, 0, 3, 6. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, pag yung 0, minus mo sa anything na multiple of 3, ang mangyayari, divisible siya sa 3. Okay? So, ganito kasi siya. In general, no? Kung ilat natin yung x sa 0, x equals 0. And then, yung 0 natin, yung equivalence class natin, by definition of equivalence class, is the set containing y such that 0 must be related to y. And in order for 0 to be related to y, by definition of this relation, so this implies 3 divides 0 minus y. Okay? And 3 3 divides 0 minus y, para mangyari yun, so dapat may mag-exist na k. So from divisibility, no, 0 minus y must be equal to 3k for some k element of z. Okay? Now, so this is negative y equals 3k, or simply y equals negative 3k for any integer k. So meaning, itong mga y natin, ilalagay lang natin, pag magsasubstitute tayo ng kahit anong value ng k dito, yun yung magiging value ng y natin. Let's say yung k is 0, ang y natin is 0, kaya kasama siya dito. Okay? If k is 1, y is negative 3, kaya meron tayong negative 3. If k is 2, we have negative 6. Ayan. If k is negative 1, we have positive 3, and then we have positive 6, and so on. Okay, so dito siya galing. Okay? So next, so ganun lang, no? Pero sa madaling idea dito, nag-subtract lang ako ng 3 since ang divisor natin ay 3. And then nag-add lang ako ng 3 sa pataas naman, no? And then, let's try 1 kasi kinukuha natin yung equivalence class. So wala pa yung mga yung ibang values ng integer dito, dapat masakop natin. Okay? So 1, ganun din, mag-minus lang tayo ng 3, mag-plus lang ng 3 kasi ang divisor natin ay 3, no? Makukuha na kagad natin yan. So this will be negative. So dito ako magsimula sa negative 5, negative 2, 1. So, saan galing to? Nag-minus lang ako ng 3. 1 minus 3, negative 2, minus 3, negative 5. And then, 1 plus 3, 4, plus 3, 7. So, ganun lang. So, ito yung another set, no? Sa equivalence class, na ang magiging leader natin dito, ang mapipili nating leader si 1. Okay? O, pwede natin gawin to in general. So, yung 1, under relation R, is equal to y such that 1 are y. And then that means 1 ry implies 3 divides 1 minus y by definition of our relation dito sa given, of our given relation. And that means we have 1 minus y equals 3k. May nag-exist ulit na integer k. And that is negative y equals 3k minus 1, or simply y is equal to 1 minus 3k, no? So dito mag-isip ka na ng mga value ng k. If k is 0, merong 1. If k is 1, that is 1 minus 3, magiging negative 2. Okay? If k is 2, 1 minus 6 magiging negative 5. If k is negative 1, 1 plus 3, that is 4. And so on, no? Okay. So next, we also have, may hindi pa tayo nakikita dito, dapat masakop natin lahat. Wala pang positive 2, no? So try natin si positive 2. Gawa naman tayo ng equivalence class for positive 2. So that is, so ganun lang din, minus lang din. Okay, we have negative 4, negative 1, 2, 5, 8. Okay. So naggaganito kagad ako, no? Kasi para mas madali, no? Pero itong nasa right side, pinapakita ko kung paano natin siya hahanapin, paano hahanapin yung equivalence class. Let's say, mahirap hanapin yung equivalence class na trial and error lang. Kasi itong sa left side, nag-trial and error lang tayo. Kinuha lang natin yung idea na since ang divisor natin ay 3, tayo, multiple of 3. Okay, nag-add tayo at subtract ng 3. So, ganun lang din gawin mo dito sa 2. Okay, so try natin sa 2. 2, that means y such that 2 are y. And when we say 2 are y, that implies 3 divides 2 minus y. And that implies 2 minus y equals 3k, where k is some integer. And then we have negative y is equal to 3k minus 2. And then we have y is equal to 2 minus 3k by multiplying both sides by negative 1. So dito makukuha na natin by substituting any value of integer k makukuha na natin tong set na to. Okay? Now, ano yung mga equivalence class? Kasi, nasakop na natin si 3 dito. So, hindi na tayo uusad ng 3. Hindi na rin tayo aatras kasi meron na tayong negative 1. Nasakop na ni 2. So, meaning, tatlo lang yung ating equivalence class. So, ang magiging ZR natin, ZR, comfort room, okay, Z over R will be the set containing 0, 1, and 2. So, yan yung laman ng ating equivalence relation o ng Z over R. And sa magiging partition natin, so that is, let's say, gumawa tayo ng abstract uli, and then, hatiin lang natin sa tatlo, we have 0, R, 1R, and then 2R. Okay. So, naglalagay na ako ng R para ipakita na under siya ng relation na R. But in other books, so makikita mo lang bracket. So, okay lang naman yun. No? Okay? So, next, let's try to discuss properties of equivalence classes. Okay? So, first property is now we have X element of the equivalence class. So, ibig sabihin, sa equivalence class, kagrupo mo yung sarili mo. Okay? So, ang napakadali nito na idea ay, syempre, sarili mo siya. So, meaning, kasama ka sa grupo. Kasama yung sarili mo sa isang grupo, no? Sa isang class. Okay? So, kaya, we have X element of, another thing na sinasabi nitong property number 1 ay lahat daw ng class ay may laman. Okay? Unang-unang laman mo ay sarili mo. Okay? So, wala kang makikitang equivalence class na walang laman. Okay? Now, for the proof of number 1, if we're going to prove number 1, mabilis na lang yan. Hindi na pala natin kailangan ipakita yung proof nito. So, sa number 1, automatic na yan by the property of equivalence relation. So, as I said, bago magkaroon ng equivalence class, dapat given a relation, equivalence relation. And in order for a given relation to be an equivalence relation, dapat taglay niya yung reflexive property. Okay? And kung taglay niya yung reflexive property, so we have X, X element of R. Okay? So, let's try. Sige, ilagay natin. So, since R is an equivalence relation, then R is reflexive. So, for any X element of A, X, X is element of R. This means that X is element of the equivalence class R. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, let's have number 2. So, number 2, if Y is element of X, of the equivalence class X, then the equivalence class X is equal to this one. Okay? Now, ano yung sinasabi naman ng property number 2? Ang sinasabi niya, kahit sino daw sa kanilang dalawa, pwede maging leader. Parang ito, sa unang example natin, we have these two equal equivalent sets. Okay? Si 1 tsaka si 3. Ibig sabihin yan, pwedeng si 1 yung nandito, pwede rin si 3 yung nandito. Walang problema. So, yun yung sinasabi nung second property. Okay? Pag nasa loob ni 1 si 3, automatic si 3 ay automatic si 1 ay nasa loob din ni 3. Okay? So, yun. Let's try to prove property number 2. So, let's have our proof. Proof number 2. Okay. Now, we have we have to show that consider y element of equivalence. Okay, so i-assume natin to, y element of x. So this implies then yung x, y ay nasa loob ni R. Kasi kung yung y ay nasa loob ni equivalence class, then yung x, y ay element ni R. So meron tayong case 1. Okay? Kung ang goal natin ay patunayan na yung x ay equal sa y, we have to show that yung y ay subset ni x at yung x ay subset ni y by definition of the equality of sets. No? Okay? So number 1, so for case 1, let's try to show that y is a subset of x. Okay? Now, let A be element of the equivalence class y. Okay? So then, we have y, A element of R by definition of equivalence class. Okay? Kapag nasa loob, ibig sabihin, ito yung second coordinate ng ating ordered pair. Ito yung first coordinate. Okay? Now, from our assumption, x, y is element of R. Okay? Now, since yung R is an equivalence relation, then yung R is transitive. Taglay niya dapat yung transitivity property. Tama? Transitive. Okay? And kung transitive siya, we have, okay, so transitive, that is, we have x, y element of R from our assumption, and y, a element of R by transitive property. So this implies x, a element of R. So this shows that A is element of x. Okay? Now, inassume natin na yung A ay element of y, napatunayan natin na yung A ay element of x. That means, by definition of subset, we have y subset of x. Okay? Now, for case number 2, let's try to show that x is a subset of y. Now, i-assume naman natin, let A be element of x. We have to show that yung A is element din ng y. Okay? Now, kung yung A ay element of x, by definition of equivalence class, this will be x, a element of R. Okay? Now, since R is symmetric, equivalence relation si R. So, symmetric siya. This follows that y over y, x is element of R. Okay? Because x, y is element of R. Nakalimutan ko pala sabihin, no, na yung x, y ay element of R. And then, ginamitan ko ng symmetric So, y comma x is element of R. So, bakit ko kailangan gawin yan? Kasi, gagamit uli ako ng transitive property. Okay, so since R is transitive, we have, ano naman yung gagawin ko? Y comma x, gamitin natin y comma x, element of R, and then let's have this, x comma a. And x comma a element of R. Implies, ayun, y comma a element of R. And if y comma a element of R, this means A is element of Y. Okay? Equivalence class Y. And then, this shows that X, equivalence class X is equal to Y. Okay? Ay, no. Subset. No, subset. By definition of subset. Okay? Now, by definition of equal sets, we have X equals Y. Equivalence classes X equals Y. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so let's have our last property. Last property, if the intersection of X and Y is non-empty. Okay, so they are, let's say, hindi sila disjoint. Okay, pag sinabi kasing disjoint, wala silang common element. So this time, yung equivalence class may common element. So ang sabi, kapag daw may common element sila, ibig sabihin equal sila. Okay? Parang sinasabi nito na wala kang makikita na equal tapos equal sila tapos wala silang kumbaga hindi sila equal pero may common element sila, no? Parang sinasabi nito, basta may common element, mag-i-equal sila. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito, sa elements ng equivalence class, yung sa X and Y, sa elements pala ng A, either magkasama sila or magkahiwalay sila. And that is very obvious in partition. No? Sa partition, kung hindi sila magkasama, magkahiwalay sila. Okay? So, let's try to prove this obvious statement. Let's have number 3. Proof for number 3. So, proof for number 3. So, dito ang gagawin ko, proof by contradiction tayo. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko, i-assume ko na hindi sila equal. Tapos, magpapalabas ako ng contradiction. Ang contradiction na ipapalabas ko dito, kukontrahin niya tong assumption. Okay? Ang mangyayari, lalabas ay equal sila. Kapag ito, kapag ito not equal, ang mangyayari dito, disjoint sila. Okay? So, yun yung mangyayari. So, let's try. Suppose the equivalence class X is not equal to Y. Since contradiction, again, ang gagawin natin, palalabasin natin na disjoint ang ating X and Y. Yung equivalence class X and Y. Sabi sa assumption, hindi sila disjoint. So, magkakaroon na ng contradiction. Okay? Now, since they are not equal, by property 2, yung prinove natin kanina, property 2, so kung hindi to equal, ang mangyayari, hindi laman ni X si Y. Kaya hindi laman ni Y si X. Okay? Ng equivalence class Y. Kasi hindi to nag-equal. So, by property 2, actually, gumamit tayo ng contrapositive dito. Okay, para mas maintindihan natin, ha. So, kapag ginamitan natin ng C plus or contrapositive ito, ang mangyayari, x is not equal to y implies y is not an element of x by contrapositive. Okay? Ng property number 2. Okay? So, I hope nasusundan, no? Kung gusto nyong malaman kung yung information about contrapositive, so I have a video from Fundamentals of Logic. So, diniscuss ko doon yung contrapositive. Okay? So, let's go back. By property 2. And sama ko na rin si C+, but usually it's just property number 2. Okay? So, we have y not an element of x and x not an element of y. Okay? So, kung hindi laman ng equivalence class x si y, ibig sabihin, kanino siya belong? Kay y. Okay? So, this shows that y is element of the equivalence class y and x is element of the equivalence class x. Okay? Since no. Mali pala yung reasoning ko dito, no? Wait. I mean yung explanation dito sa part na to. Kasi pwedeng more than 2 yung equivalence classes. So baka malito, no? Na kapag hindi laman ng isang equivalence class, baka automatic magkakapalit na sila. No. Mali yung pagkakabigay ng idea. So, una, sinabi ko dito, by property 2MC+, sigurado tayo na si y hindi siya sa loob ni x. At si x hindi siya sa loob ni y. Pero hindi ito yung dahilan kung bakit magiging y is element of y, equivalence class y, and x is element of equivalence class x. So, hindi ito yung dahilan. Ang dahilan dyan ay yung reflexive property. Okay? Also, by reflexive property, or definition of reflexive, kasi equivalence relation pinag-uusapan natin, sigurado tayo sa loob ni y si y, and sa loob ni x si x. Okay? So, at least na-clear agad natin yung explanation natin doon. So, let's continue. Okay. Now, kung hindi pwedeng maging laman ni x si y, at hindi niya pwedeng maging laman ni y si x, na equivalence y si x, ibig sabihin, yung mga laman nito, yung mga laman ni equivalence class x, hindi pwedeng maging laman ni equivalence y, equivalence class y. And similarly, yung mga laman ni equivalence class x ay hindi pwedeng maging laman ng equivalence class y. Okay? Hence, we have the intersection of x and y to be empty. Okay? So, wala silang common elements. Kasi pag nasa loob, okay. So, kapag kay y yung laman ni x, sabi yung laman ni x, let's say si x na to, na laman ni x ay kay y, kukontra siya dito. Yun na nga yung sinabi niya, hindi siya laman ni y. Ang mga laman ni equivalence class x is yung mismo x. Okay? So, meaning, their intersection is, they are disjoint. And this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction And therefore, yung x ay equal sa y. Okay? So this is that. Okay? So that's all for the equivalence class. So for our next topic, we will discuss about the domain, the range, inversion, composition of relation.